everyone. Welcome to the Josh Guillory Show. I am your grateful host. Very, very grateful host. And in studio with me, my main man, Jamie Angel.
What is happening? I keep thinking it's hump day, but it's not. It's only Tuesday.
It's pre-hump day, man.
Pre-hump day.
Pre-hump day. Happy Tuesday to everyone. We are broadcasting live from the Beal and Hebert studios here in Lafayette, Louisiana. Beal and Hebert, your hometown attorneys here in Acadiana. Go check those guys out, man. I see Lance and Kenny all the time. Their staff is always so easy to work with, advocates for their clients. Go check them out, Beal and Hebert. All right, man, so much to talk about today, my man. You having a good day so far?
Well, I tried that Southern Classic chicken today for lunch.
Wow. Yeah, that's
It was
yeah.
all right.
Yeah.
I like Popeye. Their Cajun rice ain't as good.
Oh, man. Well, I know that line is long.
No, it was short today, but
Was all right?
there's some decent chicken. Wasn't bad.
Very efficient.
Didn't meet the hype, but that's all right.
Man, you just throwing some shade.
What'd you eat for lunch?
What I usually do.
A wrap from the
For Sports Chef. Yeah, Benny, my boy, he always takes care of me.
Grilled chicken, 3 jalapenos,
Yep.
spicy ranch.
That's right. Wheat wrap. Hey, if it ain't broke, don't fix it. All right. I'll tell you what is broken. And that is,
DC?
DC. Very much. Man, boy, I tell you what, to all the little trolls out there following my Facebooks and my socials, I do love you. I appreciate you.
They've been talking smack.
Woo,
About-
man. No, look, every once in a while there's a post that I can tell just, I don't know, throw some gas on
hits
the
a
fire.
nerve.
For whatever reason, I come in peace.
I'm going to look them up.
I come in peace. But last night, apparently don't touch DC. It is a thing for the centralized folks, the leftists.
I'm going into the comments now.
All right. So Elizabeth Crisp over at The Hill is reporting that the head of the DC police union, they are backing President Trump's takeover of the Metropolitan Police Department and the deployment of the National Guard. What? That's the DC police union saying that. They said they're okay with it. The union, the folks that are boots on ground, those guys, they're saying, they're cool with it. Let President Trump take over the MPD, the DC MPD, and the National Guard troops. Okay, all right. Say it up front. I think it's rare. It should be rare, and it should be limited. And I think it is. DC's remember two things, and we'll probably say this over and over, but two things that are different. One, the District of Columbia is governed by our Constitution, tells you exactly where the federal control is, so it's not your normal city. Not your normal city, so the home rule and all that stuff gives authority. But also this should be a very, very limited scope here, and the president knows that. So the second thing we must remember is crime is absolutely out of control over there. And I know the whole argument. We'll dive into it. But let's talk about some facts, though, because I do think, if you look at what Greg Pemberton said. That's the union chair. All right, look what he says. He calls it a critical stopgap. A critical stopgap to deal with what he says is out of control crime in our nation's capital. This is the chair of the union. But let's talk about a few little facts here. So DC's police force is down about 500 officers from its authorized 4,000. It's the lowest staffing level in decades. Okay, that can be a thing. That is important. Critics say crime is actually falling. That's true, okay. But Trump, the police union, and plenty of others do not trust those numbers. Let's pause there for just a minute. See, if you ever want to get your crime stats down, what these rhinos do and what these liberals and Democrat-run cities is they'll just cook the books. Hey, your crime rate can go down quite drastically if you do not arrest anyone. Mm-hmm. If you're not policing the streets, your crime stats will look beautiful.
What's happening in New Orleans? That young DA they have. I forgot his name.
The guy that don't call anybody back.
But they had a big write up. I forgot, maybe the Advocate today, but or one of the websites talking about how his dismissal rate is high.
Oh,
Like he's
any other
turning away
liberal city?
lots. And they highlighted 6 he released on charges. I think they were gun charges, but he
Hmm.
let him go. One of them is now back before them for attempted murder or second
Wow.
degree murder, something crazy.
No, just
Like,
talk to them. Just talk. Just release them. Y'all promise to not do anything bad. Okay.
I mean, there's violent, there's non-violent. If you're releasing the violent offenders, there's a problem there.
You guys, y'all promising to be good. Okay.
You sign that? You sign it?
Yeah, we good. So Pemberton, again, chair of the D.C. Metropolitan Police Union, he says the D.C. City Council's own policies are driving out the best officers and making recruitment harder, pointing straight at the Comprehensive Policing and Justice Reform Act of 2020, following all the peaceful protests, of course. And remember, it's not a peaceful protest without a little burning going on, a little property damage.
Gotta steal some Nikes too.
Oh, that's true. That's true. That's true. So that law that we just referenced, that's the Comprehensive Policing and Justice Reform Act of 2020, I'm sure is very pro-police. That law, among other things, allows masks to be worn in public, something the union says only helps criminals. The union has been calling for the repeal of that law's 26 damaging sections that they say, but the council hasn't moved an inch. But what do we expect? What do we expect? I mean, this is what happens when the left gets a calling for the control of a city and turns law enforcement into a social experiment. I mean, that's basically what they're doing. You are taking law enforcement like every other left-leaning city and treating it as if it's a social experiment. No place in that. No place in law enforcement for that. So, D.C., they're supposed to be the seat of our government, our front door, our doormat, our front yard, our first impression. I could keep going.
It's also where all of our elected officials are.
Yeah.
You think it's okay to have streets that are so dangerous that our elected officials probably shouldn't walk down them.
Yeah.
I mean,
I don't think anybody. Let's get a better example.
Foreign ambassadors. I mean, people who represent other countries.
Hold on. Let's start off with. I don't think it was a good set. Like the audience is like, I don't know.
But it's a seat of government.
Send them all the politicians. Whoever survives stays.
Y'all know what I mean. It's the head of our government. It needs to be secure.
I'm with you. Hey, good point about ambassadors and foreign dignitaries and the place we do business. And here's another thing, just throwing that out there. Businesses go to DC. I mean, like folks, like this is our. I mean, we don't have to explain. I know our audience knows this.
Yeah. And if you're not policing the streets and you're not tracking who's on the streets,
Yeah.
how do you know they're not from other countries? How do you know they're not little sleepers there in this way?
True. Right in our capital. All right, guys, let's pick up this discussion and so much more when we get back. I can't wait. Jamie, don't go anywhere. welcome back to the Josh Guillory Show. We are broadcasting live from the Beal and Abear Studios right here in Acadiana. I just messaged over there to Lance. I'm trying to get one of those guys on the show, man. I always enjoy their conversation. I think they'll be able to add some value to the show and hopefully give a little tidbit that the folks can get some value too. So anyway, hometown attorneys, give those guys a call. Beal and Abear, love them over there. All right, that rhymed, by the way. All right, so we're talking about D.C. and the crime being out of control. Also, guys, broadcasting live for Rumble. I should have said that. Rumble! Go to rumble.com. I want to see you over there. And give us a little follow. It's free. It's free, but you can see us, and let's have some fun. We also have the chat feature up. You can check that out. So we're talking about President Trump. We covered it yesterday, covered it on social media. Boy, did we. About President Trump's decision to federalize the Metropolitan Police Department in the District of Columbia and also bring in some National Guard troops. We discussed last segment, the department's down 500 officers. Crime is statistically down, but we talked about that. I mean, you got the eyeball test and statistically down. Okay, compared to what? 2020 through 2023, you're bragging on that? Through 2024, you're bragging on that? That's the standard? We're 26% down on that. Really? That's the standard?
Like I said yesterday.
Yeah.
When you're up 500%.
Yeah.
From or however much it is.
Right.
I mean,
there's only one way to go, buddy.
Call a spade here.
Yeah. Gravity. So, and then some of the council members talk about the Comprehensive Policing and Justice Reform Act. That's left-leaning folks and the D.C. City Council, which is probably also left-leaning, and that's their prerogative. But the Comprehensive Policing and Justice Reform Act of 2020. Now, remember what was going on in 2020. The mayor of D.C. painted Black Lives Matter on Pennsylvania Avenue in 2020. I'm just saying, just giving you perspective, okay? And we know what happened to the leaders of Black Lives Matter. It had nothing to do with black people. It had all to do with green money or digital or crypto.
I doubt that.
I don't know what countries they're dealing with.
That's a good point.
You know, they might like that digital dollar that Russia does. I don't know. Go talk to them. So, that law, however, the Comprehensive Policing and Justice. All right. Now, if those three terms don't scream liberal, I don't know. Progressive. Actually, I have to stop saying liberal. That's not the right word. That's not the right word. You know, the leftists is not even applying. But anyway, all right. But if you want to see the woke, comprehensive, okay. Anytime you hear an elected official, and I've said it too, and bureaucrat, what the hell does that mean? Comprehensive, it's fluff. But it's usually followed by something like this: Policing and Justice Reform Act. All right. Got it. That's definitely not helping our police officers, more than likely. So that law, again, just to remind everybody, it now allows masks to be worn in public. The union, however, who supports President Trump's actions in regards to policing crime in D.C. from a federal standpoint, they support all that. But they've been calling for the repeal of this whole comprehensive police justice and all that stuff reform act. They've been saying that law's 26 damaging sections should be repealed, and the council hasn't done anything. So D.C., the seat of our government, this is something that we should have a little pride on, the good pride. You know, instead, it's a showcase of failed liberal crime policies that put criminals first. Handcuff police and drive the good officers out. Go talk to those guys in D.C. 500 short. I wonder why. They're viewed as the criminals in these Democrat-run and Rhino-run cities. And while the elites and the lobbyists in their glass towers shrug, families, remember those guys? They're the ones dealing with shootings and robberies and carjackings. Not you guys. Y'all look down. President Trump didn't create this mess. But he is the one that is someone finally willing to step in and stop the bleeding. Because that's really all you can ask for. Because it has to be a limited thing, has to be very temporary. When you go in there, though, you gotta get the bones, the structure back. You gotta get the foundation rebuilt. Stop the bleeding. The DC Police Union gets it. They understand. They're living this every single day. We see it on TV. They live it. They've been warning for years that the city council's reforms were really just a gift to criminals. Now Trump is giving them backup. Thank you. That is leadership, like real leadership. Not the pretend kind that hides behind cooked statistics to make it look like everything's fine. Like we can't judge, like we don't know what our eyes are seeing. Like the union doesn't know what their officers are seeing.
Tell Big Balls crime is down.
Exactly. Big Balls knows. Poor Big Balls. And what's a teenager doing on Doge anyway?
He wasn't a teenager. He got beat up by some teenagers.
Oh, that's right. I'm sorry.
Yep.
Like, did he have, because I was thinking, did he have to get like a little permission slip from his mom to go to work?
Look, you say that. Back when I was in the military working at NSA, we had some interns that were still in high school. And I was like, what?
Hey.
This is National Security Agency. They're like, these are the smartest kids you'll ever meet in your life.
Yeah, I wasn't joking. Like, some of these whiz kids, like, seriously, just put them in the closet. That's where they want to be.
Mm-hmm.
Here, figure this puzzle out.
Look, you have to have a hallway with nothing on it long enough so that they can keep their shoulder in contact with
If anyone knows anybody with those attributes, they don't want to do any business or anything. They just want to be smart and like figure things out. Tell them to call my office. I might have something for them. I'm always looking for smart people. Smart people. 233-1303. I'm serious. All right. And again, I have to stay true to myself. And I think most of the audience would agree with this. Federal intervention in local policing is something that should be rare, like very, very rare. But this is D.C., because you're going to hear all the people that attack us conservatives. Oh, I thought you didn't want federal intervention. We don't. We don't, generally speaking. We absolutely don't. But this is D.C., very different. This is the one city where federal law actually makes it pretty clear that the federal government can intervene in these ways.
It's a federal city.
Yeah.
Literally a federal city.
Yeah. And when you've got crime exploding and a police force gutted by politics, you can't just sit back and watch. Trump gets that. Like, you have a choice. Do something or don't do something. You've heard me say that a million times. So he's choosing to do something. Great. Maybe it won't work. I don't know. But I know what wasn't working. And that is a businessman that knows that, knows the difference, and knows what he's doing. So, yes, this move should be temporary. And, yes, we should always want local control. But if the choice is between letting the swamp elites keep running a crime-ridden embarrassment or having a president who's willing to send in the cavalry, well, guess what? I'll take the cavalry every time. Sound the charge. All right, guys, stick around. We'll be right back. Phone lines are open, and I can't wait. welcome back to the Josh Guillory Show. Broadcasting live from the Beal and Abear studios here in Lafayette, Louisiana. Beal and Abear, man, your hometown attorneys. Give those guys a call. Great folks. All right, Jamie, my favorite time of the whole show. Phone lines are open, 232-1542. And all my Rumble friends over here, look right there if you're outside the Acadiana area, 844-766-6607. Give us a little follow on Rumble. Want to see you on rumble.com. We also have the chat feature up and running. Let's go to the phone lines. Jay from Broussard. What's up, Jay?
Hey, Josh. I got to give credit to one of your sister shows.
Okay.
Eric Erickson said something freaking amazing. Trump needs to play the opposite game. If he tells liberals that breathing is good, oxygen is great, you need to breathe, they're going to stop breathing. So with that note, he needs to tell them that deporting criminals is bad. And then, working on crime in D.C. is bad. And then wink, wink, tell his Republican friends, hey, let's go along with the Democrats because the Democrats are all going to do everything anti-Trump.
I love it. I love it. Opposite day. I wish I could have opposite day a lot in many of the levels of government that we have. I love that. Thanks, Jay. Mr. Bobby, what's happening?
Yeah, you're right, LT. Forward area. Are we clear?
Hey, Roger.
Hey, who has authority over the Capitol Police before they're federalized? Is the Speaker of the House or the VP?
The mayor.
Yeah, it's a city.
City. Now,
the Capitol folks are in charge of Capitol Police.
Yeah, you're talking about the
now
Capitol
they're
Police.
under federal authorization, so they're under who now?
DOJ.
Justice Department?
DOJ, and
Okay.
then the troops will be federalized under DOJ.
How many troops are there?
I don't know. Do you know that?
Unarmed, you said yesterday.
Well, what's the point? I'm kidding.
We'll try to.
Well, the point is, I sure the hell don't want to get hit with tear gas. Remember those days?
Ooh.
That's my favorite part.
Ooh. Hey, look. That was your favorite part?
I love it.
Yeah.
Gas chamber.
Yeah. Hey, well, you do enough time that CS gas starts to, you kind of.
Sing the national anthem in the gas.
Well, Bobby, if you do it a few times, but not that first time, huh, Bobby? Gee, that first time you think you're about to die.
Yeah, I don't want to get it with one of them bean bags either that they use.
Hey, man, those things come out. All right. Thanks, Mr. Bobby. Appreciate you. Appreciate all our callers. Give us a buzz, 232-1542, 844-766-6607 outside the Acadiana area. I can't see that. Can you read it?
T. Terror writes in on Rumble, with Trump sending the National Guard and federal agents into D.C., is this a joint task force with DOJ in charge, or will it still fall under regular PD control?
God, now there's a committee? That's the last step before a task force.
So much truth to that. Yeah, so it's all under DOJ. That's the only information we know as far as I'm sure it's a task force. Probably come up with a cool name and give some medals.
Yeah.
That's what we do.
Kill Switch on Rumble also says, good afternoon, gentlemen. Washington, D.C., FAFO. Defending the police and crime goes up. It's basic physics. And then Desio, our partner, says, D.C. MPD may be down 500 officers, but I was there 3 or 4 years ago, and I saw uniformed and non-uniformed law enforcement from every alphabet agency in and around that mall area.
You ain't kidding. If only they would act as one and communicate. But they all have their little kingdoms, their little fiefdoms. Man, I'm just telling you, our founders, if they came to this country and they saw this, and they'd go to Washington, they'd have to step over the homeless encampments and the drug use and needles and all that stuff. But I really do think one of their first questions they would ask us is, what is a federal employee?
What is going on here?
What is a federal employee? And why is Congress getting paid? What is all this? What the hell is going on?
Why is this place so big?
Why is it? Yeah, and a national police force? Thomas Jefferson, James Madison would be like, what the? What?
Federal Bureau of what?
Come
Why?
on now.
What?
Hold on now. All right, let's go to this gentleman, Big Chris in the hizzy. What's up, my man?
Hey, if the DOJ takes over the policing in Washington, D.C., a lot of those government officials better stay home.
You ain't kidding.
Yeah,
God,
maybe most of them.
Hey.
That in itself would solve a lot of problems.
Yeah, we wouldn't even have a quorum in Congress. You wouldn't be able to pass anything.
Hey, it'd be fine. We'd be doing good.
Actually, we would be doing good, Chris. I'm telling you, if we could pay those guys just to stay home, if we could pay them just to stay home, just don't do anymore. Don't run up our debt. Don't do anything.
You know what? If they would pass a bill saying, I don't want to do anything, it'd probably go all the way to the, it'd be cover the whole land, and we'd be happy. The people would be happy. We're not doing nothing. This is the bill.
Thanks, Big Chris. Appreciate you. Yeah, man. Just a thought. Just a thought. All right, let's go to our friend President Zelensky. Hey, man, he's been in the news lately. Talking about some land, swapping, talking about I ain't doing that.
Talking about.
We ain't talking about practice. That's what we're not talking about.
There you go.
All right, Ellen Mitchell at The Hill reports that President Trump, again, pushing to negotiate an end to the Ukraine war, pushing hard, and he's making waves, today by publicly criticizing Zelensky. And he said it specifically criticized his refusal to consider a land swap with Russia. Trump says he is, quote, very, very severely, end quote, I'm just saying, disagrees, that's a lot, disagrees with Zelensky's stance in calling this a war that should have never happened. And we agree. So remember, just a few little notes here. Recall that President Trump is scheduled to meet Friday with Russian President Vladimir Putin. They're going to meet in Alaska in an effort to at least broker peace, at least try. It's not going to, you need all three for it to happen, or you at least need Putin and Zelensky in the same room. And Trump has said some things on that as well. But he's floated the idea, Trump that is, has floated the idea of territorial changes for the betterment of both countries. He's just looking for a deal. He's probably thinking, all right, Russia wants this land. Zelensky, you got any beef with that? Yep, I got a beef with all of it. Okay. Vladimir, it's not going to happen. He's not giving it up. It's not just pick another land. Pick another city. You like Kyiv? No? Zelensky insists Ukraine will not give land to an occupier. Okay. Saying his people deserve peace without rewards for Russia's aggression. Can't argue with that. I mean, you can't argue with that. Trump's just trying to get a deal. He didn't start the war. And you can't argue. Honestly, it's Trump has a reasonable position too. Zelensky has a reasonable position. Trump has a reasonable position, or at least proposal. That is a very reasonable proposal. You get this, we get this. Is it a deal where everybody wins? Okay, but I mean, if it's a situation where only Zelensky's given up, well, of course you can argue that that's not fair. But if it is truly a swap, give it a go.
Well, you say swap. It was all Ukraine's land to begin with.
I'm not saying to take the deal.
Well,
I'm just saying.
If you want the war to end, though, they're going to have to.
That's and look, that's the reality. So a lot of folks. Well, let's just keep talking about it. Let's go. So because Trump Trump criticized Zelensky for claiming that he would need constitutional approval for a land swap. Trump noted that Ukraine already approved the ongoing war. So what's the deal? The president says any deal will have both good and bad aspects for each side. He said it's a complex deal because of uneven lines and control. I don't know what he meant by that. I know the control part, but Trump's let's see. Yep, the delegate that Trump sent over there, Steve Witkoff, he met with Putin in Moscow last week. Putin reportedly proposed Ukraine withdraw from certain areas, leaving them under Kremlin control. And that's when Zelensky said, hell no, we ain't doing it. And it is important to note, Zelensky has not been invited to the peace summit. It's only Trump and Putin. But we must remember, Trump also met with Zelensky by himself. Met with him in the Vatican. Met with him in the White House. Didn't last very long. He was politely exited from the White House. But yeah, let's talk about this and let's wrap this up when we get back from the
Those
break.
regions.
Yeah.
The Donetsk
Yeah.
region, Donetsk region,
Yeah.
and the Luhansk region.
So I was going to go
know
with
you were
Luhansk.
avoiding to say.
Yeah, that's why I said 2 territories. No one's going to remember those names. Say them back to me without looking. Yeah. All right, guys, stick around. Phone lines are still open. We'll be right back. Welcome back to the Josh Guillory Show. We are broadcasting live from the Beal and Abear Studios here in Lafayette, Louisiana. Bill and Abear, your hometown attorneys.
Got to give a shout out to my bud Aaron. I saw him at Dr. Kevin's this morning. He's a listener of the show, and glad to meet some folks who actually listen to us. And
Well, we at least have one.
yeah, we got more than one, but glad to see some fellow listeners at Dr. Kevin's.
Absolutely. It feels like a Wednesday, too. I was about to say, we're going to have Wellness Wednesday with Dr. Kevin.
Tomorrow.
Yep.
Ooh, I'm excited for it, though. He's going to continue his talk about gut health.
Ooh, that's so much new science we're learning about that. You know, it's like every year it seems like something else. And then you got to weed through what's real, what's not, what's commercialized, what's actually healthy for you, what's not. Hey, I just go to Dr. Kevin and he
Changed
figures
my
it out.
whole viewpoint on how healthcare is approached.
Oh, me too, buddy. All right, so we're talking about Zelensky not being invited to the
practice.
Yeah. Zelensky's not invited to the peace summit. He might be. It's only Tuesday.
It's like he said, ultimately, I'm going to get the two of them in a room.
Yeah,
I'll be there or I won't be there. And I think it'll get solved.
that's right. Direct quote. So, here's the thing. For 3 years, you could go back further, but let's just say for 3 years, the Washington foreign policy crowd sat there and preached to us that there was no way to end this war without blank checks and endless bloodshed. Just over 3 years. That's all we've heard. Oh, there's no way out. The establishment has been perfectly fine pouring hundreds of billions of dollars, of American taxpayer dollars, into Ukraine while ignoring our own border, our own cities, and our own struggling military readiness. 3 years, more than 3 years. Trump comes in and says, no, this is going to end. And it's going to end at the negotiating table, not on a battlefield. Let's get this done. That is a complete disruption to the elite Washington racket. I'm telling you, a lot of folks making money. All right, let's go back to the phone line, 232-1542, outside the Acadiana area, 844-766-6607. All right, caller, you are live on the Josh Guillory Show. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Hey, this is Dean. Hey, Josh. Hey, Jamie.
Hey, Dean, what's
Hey,
up, bud?
I'm doing good, my brother. I got a question about, they're talking about a land swap, right? Okay, maybe a land swap. What is under the land? We all know Ukraine's got these rare earth minerals. And so we want the part with the rare earth minerals, and we'll swap a little farmland over here. I think that's an important issue as far as location of the land that they're talking about swapping. And if you think for one moment that Putin's going to be good with that, when that's all said and done, he'll come right back.
Yeah.
He's not to be trusted. And I'm going to hang up and listen to you guys. Appreciate your show. Listen to you all the time.
Hey, thanks, Dean. That's a great call. Spot on, man. That is a caller that thinks. I love thinkers. Yeah, you should be thinking that. That's a very important factor. I mean, it wasn't too long ago that President Trump was saying we should secure our loans to you by these rare earth minerals. And he was right then. Very interesting, something we're not talking about. Now, remember, Trump's a negotiator. And remember how Trump negotiates. Very extreme in the public. Very extreme, land swap. That is an extreme solution.
I don't think Russia's after their earth, though, because granted, Ukraine's got a lot, but Russia's also got a tremendous amount of rare earth. I think what they really want is the access, is the sea frontage, and that we saw that with Crimea. They want all of it. They want the entire frontage. As far as I don't know that that's really the location where all the rare earth is. I don't know.
Well, it's what Dean was saying. It's something that should be considered, and it's something that should be discussed. And I'm more with Dean on that. I don't trust Putin, and I think if you give him an inch, he takes a mile. And some of the land on the waterfront the Crimean Sea, How do you say it?
Crimean.
Crimean Sea? Whatever.
Crimea River.
I can tell you where it's at on a map. Yeah, I mean, you give him a little bit. I feel like he does exactly what Dean says. He comes back and takes more. I just don't trust the guy. But here's the deal: Trump wants peace.
I don't want to give him nothing.
And well, I get it, but we're here. So what does the paths look like? It ain't hurting my feelings if we don't support a land swap. I think that's a slippery slope. I think we should be very cautious on that. I have a feeling that's where we're going, though. All right, let's go to Mr. Bobby.
Oh, we are out of time.
What?
Yeah, we only got 15 seconds.
What? That ain't right. Mr. Bobby, we're going to hit you in hour number 2. I can't wait to hear from you. All right, guys. So a little 8 seconds left. So I give my little plug for Rumble. I want you to go on rumble.com. I want you to look at the Josh Guillory Show. You can look at us live. You can see old episodes. Pull them up. We cover a whole bunch of stuff. All right, guys, stick around. Hour number 2. Man, I can't wait. Let's talk about inflation. You want to talk about inflation?
Talk about inflation.
Hey, the sky turns out it's not. Put your umbrellas up. It's not falling. All right, guys, we'll be right back. afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to hour number 2 of the Josh Guillory Show. I remain your grateful host. And in studio with me still, my main man, Jamie Angel.
Yes, sir.
Oh, yeah, there we go. Oh, thank you. I'm trying to hear the claps here. I'm having some audio difficulties. Here we go.
You good?
Now, I think we're good
All
now.
right.
I think we're good. Hey, pal.
Hey,
Hey, apparently we're all racist to want to clean up D.C., according to Chuck Schumer, Nancy Pelosi. Yeah, I don't need to be preached to from the party of slavery, all right? I don't need to be preached to by Chuck Schumer or Nancy Pelosi or any of the left that wants to use identity politics and wants to abuse people because of race. I don't need to be preached to by a bunch of racists. That's so silly. And you said it perfectly. They're the racists for us. So apparently Trump is a racist. Well, you know, anything he does, he's a racist. But apparently Trump and all of us who support him on addressing crime in our capital, okay? Apparently that's racist. And you said it perfectly.
so what are they saying? That crime is only
Yeah.
a black people thing?
Yeah, is
like,
it-
no.
Okay, so I guess that's how, but that's the Democrat way. The Democrat they look at black people like pawns, okay? Like just little pieces on the chessboard. How can we move them? Let's give just a little bit. And then but I'm telling you this though. Folks are smarter than these elites give them credit for. And that is why you've seen an uptick in support from African American males, from Hispanics. I really think African American female demographic at some point is going to recognize. And look, we've all
Whoa.
we've all have our journey and all that stuff, and you know we're at a place where we're at, and we're on the right direction. It's but man, the Democrat Party is going to continue to lose its identity and continue to lose people if they continue to use this identity politics stuff. The race, like if I were a minority, which I might be, I'm a straight white male Christian. I'm a straight white male Republican Christian. I might be in a minority. I don't know. Anywho, back to non-racist topics. That makes my blood boil. The media, I swear. You want to talk about a group that is portrayed a group of people in the wrong light? Go to the media. Go watch the Katrina 20-year anniversary documentary. I think it's National Geographic, but
Yeah, it's National Geographic, but you can watch it on Hulu and Disney Plus.
yeah, I mean, not only the epic failures of leadership and the inability to make a dang decision and just the total disregard for a large population of black Louisianans and Americans that were just basically you could have spat on them and treated them with more respect than our government treated those folks. But boy, they'll take their vote.
And called them looters when they were just trying to get
Exactly.
food to survive and clothes
Exactly.
to wear.
You want to talk about the racists? It's the media. Go look how they treated the folks in the Superdome and the convention center. Horrible. And our government was worse. But anyway, back to other topics. I was getting a little heated. I don't want to get home. My wife tell me you need to calm down.
Talk about tariffs.
Yeah. Hey, we'd have some positives here. We got positives on the turfs. The turfs. So Madison Hoff over there at Business Insider is reporting, check this out, that inflation in July held steady at 2.7%, coming in below the 2.8% economists expected. That's as President Trump's tariffs continue to roll out. We see that with more set to hit in the months ahead, and continue to be flexible, which I applaud that leadership style. I don't put me in front of I don't want to serve with any leader that is so rigid that they cannot change their mind based on new information. I just don't want to deal with that person. That person's hard-headed, stubborn, and puts their own ego ahead of other folks. You got to have a little humility if you want to be a good leader. You can still be strong and be humble. It's all good. So, but let's go back to this. Year over year inflation stayed at 2.7% in July. Wow. Kim, man, we should really pull up the tapes from CNN and MSNBC and even Fox News to a degree. Not most. Just the sky's falling and you know, and all. Our gas is gonna be $15 a gallon. I mean, just all the things, all the scare tactics that these racist identity politic leftist, you fill in the gaps. all of what they said about us.
Purple-haired meth monkeys.
Yeah, Warren. Come on now.
Where's Warren been?
Hey, he's coming. Consumer prices rose 0.2% for the month, matching forecasts. Okay. Core inflation, excluding food and energy, rose 3.1% year over year and 0.3% month over month. That, I think I'm more impressed with the 0.3% month over month, just because of the volatility in the markets, or actually, no, there wasn't volatility, but the scare of volatility in the markets due to the uncertainty of these tariffs. The more this goes on, the more certain the situation becomes. More the markets get to see how these world leaders are interacting, President Trump being one of them. There's a lot of stability with knowledge. There's a lot of peace and comfort with knowing what to expect. So the more and more we see these world leaders interact with Trump leading, which is thank God an American wants to lead here. You know, we're going to see more of that and the world's going to be better. Let's keep going on with the facts. I like those. Tariffs on copper in dozens of countries took effect in early August. Higher China tariffs are on hold until November, which could be expedited. You never know. You never know. Never know what happens. But he does usually stick with deadlines. He usually does. But he's also shown that he will move it. So analysts say tariff effects could take time to show up, especially in core goods. That they've been saying that since the beginning. They may be right. And again, let's all be real here, okay? We got to stay true to ourselves. The tariff thing may blow up in our face. It may be bad. But so far it hasn't been. And so far there have been so many American wins. Look at the trade deal with Japan. Look at the trade deal with the European Union. Look at the trade deal with Great Britain or the UK. And we could go on and on and on. I would say India, but they are having some issues. They're about to, well, they are seeing some realities themselves. But look, let's be real. They may not work. But one thing that we can, like in the long term, but one thing that we as a country should be able to all agree on is that what we were doing wasn't working and that we were being taken advantage of. You cannot reasonably argue that manufacturing jobs were anywhere other than here. You just can't argue that. You can't argue reasonably that we weren't losing jobs and good manufacturing jobs. You can't argue after going through COVID. You can't argue reasonably with in favor of us relying on these 8,000 to 9,000 mile supply chains, making us, the land of the free, the greatest country in the world, dependent on other countries, many of which hate us. But we got some wins here domestically, and we love that. We love winning. All right, guys, stick around. We'll be right back. welcome back to the Josh Guillory Show.
Man,
Yeah.
we'll
Yeah.
start putting boots up butts if you don't get back on the air on time, man. Boots and butts.
It's all good. It's all good. Welcome back to the show, guys. We're broadcasting live from the Beal and Abear studios here in Acadiana, your hometown attorneys. All right, let's see here. Okay, phone line's going to be open next segment, 232-1542. Also, 844-766-6607. All right, we are talking about inflation and these tariffs and how actually not looking too bad. Inflation year over in, we're a little bit ahead of where the economists said we're supposed to be. Just a little, but that's good. That's good. We are definitely not seeing the sky falling like we had. But we're seeing many indexes rising just slightly or none at all. Food prices were flat for the month, July. Gas prices dropped 9.5% year over year. I'm going to say that one again. Last year, gas prices were 9.5% higher than they are now. The man said he would lower gas prices, and he did. And I would imagine it probably just took just a tiny bit of TLC, just a little tiny TLC to that industry. I would imagine.
Well, they just opened up 2 new wells for production. I mean, come on now.
Yeah, that might have a little to do with it too.
And some large capacity ones at that.
Hey, and shout out to my friend, to the legislature and to the governor, and also to Representative Guyman for lowering severance tax for oil and gas in Louisiana. Now, if we would stop suing the hell out of them, that might help.
Still got a little ways to go with that severance tax.
Help. Yeah, I just don't know what is so hard. Why can't we just match Texas? Why can't we just match Texas? Just. But you know what?
Josh, I'm
Lord.
gonna tell you, it's because the Louisiana people, they're conditioned for failure.
The Federal Reserve held interest rates steady for the 5th time in a row and but they could cut rates in September. Yeah, we said that last August. I know there's checks and balances. I just have an interest in this. See, I have a title company.
Yeah.
I'm very, very interested in this. But really, though, just the flow of business, just overall business in general, our economy. I don't claim to be an economist, and I'm not. And there's a whole bunch of smarter people than me that are educated on this, and I appreciate those guys. I really do. But I do dive into business every day, and very on a small scale compared to a lot of these big guys. But it's all relative. And man, all the folks that I talk to that are smart and a very diverse background say, they're like, what's the deal? Even some of the And I can live without that. So you take that aside. What to me, it's my opinion, to see some of these fellow members of the Federal Reserve, these governors, come out, at least 2 of them publicly, and call for Jerome Powell to lead the charge in lowering interest rates. That to me is more telling. I thought, for those guys who are usually silent, stay out of the limelight, that kind of stuff. Outside of the chairman, you rarely hear of the Federal Reserve or even talk about it. It's usually the chairman. But Jerome Powell, all right, let's give him the benefit of the doubt. Okay, Jerome knows more than we know. Jerome knows, and presumably he does. I would hope he does. Let's just say Mr. Powell knows some information that we don't know. Tell us. Tell us. We can handle it. We can handle it. We, the people, can handle the truth. Just tell us. Y'all have no problem talking noise on other stuff. I mean, there's been times, believe it or not, Mr. Chair, that y'all been wrong. So it's not like you're afraid to say things. A Goldman Sachs report says consumers have absorbed less than a quarter of tariff costs so far, with most costs falling on foreign exporters and businesses. So all that talking point from the left, I see it on my pages too. It never made sense, and it doesn't today. if you're sitting here telling me that higher tariffs on America is better for us, that Russian citizens and Chinese citizens are paying the cost, you are so full of it. Then why would we change? Then why?
This is how I gauge it. You ever heard of Shein?
Shein?
Shein, it's an app. You buy a bunch of ridiculously cheap Chinese stuff on it. Well, people love it.
What's it called? Shein?
Shein, Shein.
Okay.
It's like Temu.
Like, hey, Sha.
Anyway,
Like, hey, Shan.
you can get a whole bunch of junk. You can get the same amount of junk for $100 on Shein today that you could have gotten on Shein last year.
Well,
How do I know this? Because we just got another order of junk from Shein. No, pretty useful stuff, but it's cheap stuff and it hasn't gone up any.
there you go. And if Shia saying, so the Shia index. Shein. So the Shein index.
Shein index.
Yeah.
That's the bougie folks.
They are saying, we're good.
The cheap bougie.
So basically, the Shein, by Shein standards, we're good. There's no difference.
Or the TikTok shop. That's a better example. The
Okay.
TikTok shop is same crap you can get on Shein. It's the same price today that it pretty much was last year.
All right.
Nothing changed.
All right. So here's something that I also believe we should remember. The economic class that swore Trump's tariffs would torch the economy, they're still waiting for the disaster to show up. They're like waiting for this disaster like a little kid looks out the window waiting for the rain to stop. It's just like, let's come, please, the disaster. Please make me right.
They've never seen a disaster they didn't love.
You ain't kidding. But that is what the left, that's what rhinos do. They lie, and then they hope. They try to find some facts to support their lie. When they don't, they just hope. They hope. Oh, I hope it comes true. They don't love our country more than whatever motivates them to do that. I don't know what would motivate you to want to do that, but people do it. Politics, that's for sure. That's hard. Not everybody. Not everybody. All right. So yeah, all those guys, I mean, they're just waiting. But instead, what do we see? Steady. Inflation, steady. Not at all what they were saying on the news, on the media. Gas prices down 9.5% from last year. That is awesome. Food prices are flat. And the Fed, a lot of folks say they're cutting rates next month. Hey, if it happens, high five. High five. If it happens, I've heard that before the last 15 months. But it's definitely, look, all of this, what we're seeing is definitely not the recession that the left,
So far from it.
come on, man. That is actually stability and leverage. And on our behalf, finally, man, I love that. So, all right, we're going to take a little break. Ooh, I can't wait, though. Phone lines are back open, 232-1542. If you're on hold early, give us a call again. We can't wait to hear from you. welcome back to the Josh Guillory Show. We are broadcasting live from the Beal and Abear Studios here in Acadiana. Beal and Abear, your hometown attorneys. Give those guys a call, man. All right, 232-1542. All our folks on hold, where you at? Give us a call back, 232-1542. Also, outside the Acadiana area, 844-766-6607. Shout out to our folks watching on Rumble, especially those guys outside of Louisiana. That's very humbling, so thank you so
some
much.
folks in Washington State last week, Mississippi, all over the country.
Hey.
We even had some in Oklahoma.
Oh, I got a public service announcement.
Oh, boy.
Jamie Guillory says that Shein that you said, they put all kinds of chemicals in those clothes. Hey,
I didn't clothes. I'm not wearing clothes from that. That's just gross.
my lovely bride, my lovely wife, thank you. I'm telling you, I would be 40 pounds heavier and have a whole bunch of stuff wrong with me if it wasn't for her. I mean that.
Well, there's still a whole bunch of stuff wrong with you, but that's neither here nor there.
All right. Okay, so again, phone lines are open. We'd love to have you call. Man, I tell you, so but first I'm kind of curious on this Shein thing. So this is a big thing, right? Like this is like a thing, like people do this stuff.
You get little tchotchkes on there. What did I get? I got some little parchment square, put that in the air fryer. I got some little, those little, they're like silver scrubby sheets.
You buy things to eat?
No.
Oh, that's what I thought you just said.
No.
Very interesting. Yeah, don't eat the tofu from Shein.
Some Tupperware. I got like a bunch of containers to put,
Oh, there you go.
a little set of containers.
All
That was
right.
real cheap.
All right. Hey, remember the CBO?
Congressional Budget Office, bunch of liars.
What? They're definitely left-leaning for sure. All right, so Mike Lillis at the Hill again. I'm telling you, the Hill, I've been reading them a lot.
A little bit of a liberal spin to it, but they're not bad.
Oh,
Not too bad.
definitely. But the topics.
You gotta see what they're saying.
I don't like to limit. You know this. We don't like to limit ourselves to just certain publications. Trying to diversify our thoughts so we can see more things.
Well, it makes for good arguments.
Absolutely.
That's what we
So
do.
they're reporting over there at the Hill that the CBO is claiming President Trump's big beautiful bill is a giveaway to the rich.
Not the B cubed. Or B3, whatever you want.
Be cute.
They call it a B cube.
The B cube.
It's racist.
The big beautiful bill, the B cube. Yeah, it's racist and it hits the rich. Or sorry, it gives away money to the rich.
No, it hits them
giveaway.
good.
Yeah, and a hit to the poor. So according to the CBO, this is the Congressional Budget Office. We'll get back to them if we have time. So according to their numbers, the top 10% of earners will get $13,600 more per year, and the bottom 10% will lose $1,200 a year.
Where did they get this from?
How?
Every time they've said, the average person will get.
Gosh.
I ain't not got no pay raises in those years. Like, am I getting a pay raise that I don't know about?
Not happening.
Thanks, boss.
Oh, wait. I wasn't following. Yes, of course.
No, but
I'm
you
pulling
know
for
what I'm
you.
saying? Like,
I'm pulling for you and all our peeps.
a decrease. So you're saying the bottom 10% of the poor folks they're gonna take $1,200 from their check? What are you talking about?
Look, CBO. Can we talk about some facts?
Facts. Wouldn't know the facts if it slapped them in the face.
Apparently, and there's supposed to be the Congressional Budget Office. Wow.
Sounds like the LCG budget office.
Overseeing, left leaning, overseeing, the CBO who sat there and let our debt get to over 36 trillion. That didn't hurt. That didn't hurt the small guy. Where were you when our manufacturing jobs were leaving our country? You don't think that hurt the little guy? Just throwing that one out there, CBO.
How about all these free trade with all these countries that were charging us up the wazoo for their stuff? Like, come on now.
Exactly. We already told you Shein ain't coming up. Timu kept their quality.
Alibaba still kicking.
Racist.
No, that's the name of it.
Oh.
Similar kind of company, Alibaba. It's like a dropship company.
How do you know all these things?
I have a wife and 3 daughters who love to be online.
All right. Well, yeah, I get that. Well, but my wife knew all about it. Knew all about it. She told me there was chemicals.
I'm
I
not
ain't
even
getting
gonna-
it.
I'm not even telling my son what a phone is until he's 18.
Hey. All right. So CBO. This bill. Let's talk about it. The B cubed. I like that. It's
B cubed.
the B cubed. The big
B3
beautiful bill.
cubed.
Yeah, I like that. It extends the Trump's 2017 tax cuts. Okay. It boosts spending for border security. Thank you.
Yes.
Thank you. The military. Thank you. Now, I'm looking in that. I'd love to dive into the DoD budget one day. There's probably some fluff there.
Give them a raise.
Give the military a raise for
Yeah.
sure. Absolutely. Yeah, exactly. If you're gonna spend all that money, spend it on your best resource. All right. And domestic energy. Saw a boost to that in the big beautiful bill, the B cubed. It pays for some of that with cuts to Medicaid, SNAP, Obamacare, subsidies, and student loan benefits. If we left it just like that, that would be some talking points spun a different way. Let's talk about the cuts to Medicaid. Let's talk about that, okay? All the cuts did was said, if you are able mind and body, if you are able to work, you should work. If you are able to work, you should work. And we're sitting here, and Bud, you sure we're a Republican state?
We are 100% not a Republican state.
Our tax code don't look like it.
Our insurance payments don't. Our house payments don't look like it. Our car payments don't. Nothing about this state screams Republican, including driving through it and seeing some of the condition of our roads,
They don't care.
of our sidewalks, of our, I don't know, green spaces.
What?
Man, you could take
You're
that
losing it.
Republican stuff and shove it, is what they can do. Because, no,
Yeah.
we are better than this.
40% of Louisiana's population is on Medicaid.
Republican state, yeah.
That's what I'm saying. And why? Because we accepted the money. We accepted Moon did a wonderful job over the years of covering that. Now, that was under Governor John Bel Edwards with a Republican legislature.
Made it a dependent state.
It really. So I
Power.
don't know the stats after these cuts. I don't know, but it is the law now, so the cuts went in effect. So I don't know what that percentage will be. But what folks don't talk about is the financial obligation. When you get that, there's no free money from the federal government, okay? But that financial dependency, that financial obligation of the state, the long-term financial obligations of the state when you increase Medicaid. Why don't we talk about that in the media? Why don't we talk about that? That doesn't sell headlines, or that doesn't sell ads.
And
Not
guess
a
what?
scroll stopper.
The top, I don't know, 30%, well, the other 60%, let me put it that way. The other 60% are the ones paying for your health care, by the way.
Yeah.
The bottom, those folks who are on
Yeah.
Medicaid, they're not paying taxes.
Yeah.
They're not paying a penny in income tax. I can guarantee you that. Not paying property taxes either. They're paying sales tax, but sales tax does not cover that. So we are footing the bill.
Yeah.
So get your butt to work if you want me to pay for your insurance.
Hey,
Get your butt to work.
If you can. And
If
if you're able-minded, able-bodied, I don't think anybody here would argue. I mean, especially in our country, in a country that's been blessed like we're blessed, in our state, even though we have some policies that need to change. It's so easy to do, frustrating. But we I don't know. We can.
You can pick up a phone.
Yeah.
People can pick up phones. That's not hard.
I just look. We should be able to take care of those who truly can't take care of themselves, but that is not a large percentage. And it's surely, hey, I grew up in this state. I know Louisiana. I know it. The blood that runs through these veins, you see that? They're about as brown as the water that flows through this wonderful state. I'm telling you, I know my people, and you know them too. And everybody listening, you're telling me 40%? You telling me? I know we're more able-bodied than mine. We just need to find the value of work again in this state, and we're never going to do that if we continue to increase the dependency on the state. That is not freedom, and we could be doing that, but we're not. Have we rendered any control over there in Baton Rouge? No. We're as centralized in Baton Rouge right now as we were under John Bell Edwards, and that is the truth. We should be decentralizing the government. Make less dependency on government. Run it like conservatives. All right, guys, stick around. We'll be right back. welcome back to the Josh Guillory Show. Yes, we are broadcasting live from the Beal and Abear Studios here in Lafayette, your hometown attorneys.
Yeah.
All right, what you got over
We
there?
got some F chats.
What?
Chris in New Iberia, referring earlier, we were talking about Putin and whatnot. He says there's a historical strategic deal with the land between them and Europe that Russia feels they need for their personal security. Plus, Putin wants the old Iron Curtain back. That's kind of like what I was saying. Like, he wants the waterfront because he wants to be able to secure that and not ever have us or any other enemy come up through Ukraine.
Yeah.
But and then
So Russia doesn't want Ukraine to have any front?
Russia really wants all of Ukraine.
Yeah.
But they will, I'm sure, settle for all of the waterfront. But then that would cut off Ukraine from the Crimean Sea, which, shipping, rare earth, all that.
All the things.
Jay in Lafayette says, think the CBO will revise those numbers like the jobless claims were fudged for the past year and a half. Revising down 800,000 for last year is not a good job.
Jay, is that not so true? Like, guys, the CBO.
You got one job.
Like, really? That's kind of like, low. Try to stay on it. But I'm just saying, lying on public documents. Why?
You know what it is? They're probably trying to use the algorithm. And it keeps changing, like the governor with the chat GPT keeps changing. The algorithms keep changing on us. Like, well, shoot, we got to go revise it because the algorithm changed.
Wait, all I got to do is chat GPT.
It's like when I do the thumbnails for Rumble and I do a picture of Jeff Landry and it kind of recreates his face like a new person. You got to retrain it.
Would you be nice to our governor?
I am being nice.
All right.
I could have run with the picture it created. Folks would have probably gotten a kick out of it.
All right, so let's talk about the CBO. Now, here's the truth that the media will not say, okay? The CBO has been wrong for decades when it comes to conservative policy, or even really fiscal policy. Jay said some of it with the work, the numbers on jobs. I mean, it's all public. But the CBO has been wrong on these things. Decades here. They work off of a Washington mindset where every government program is untouchable and the only way they measure help is by how many checks DC sends out. They don't measure how many people get off of welfare. Oh, no. Oh, no. Why would we rehabilitate? Why? Why would we give people independence? Oh, no. They don't measure the pay raises, the new jobs, or the cheaper groceries that come from a strong economy. They don't recognize the 9.5% lower gas prices today, or at least July, as it was in last July. Matter of fact, they're the guys, them and their other elites, they're the ones that said Trump was a fool and that you can't promise that, you'll never do it. The arrogance. Over it. They don't measure any of that. Oh, no. They just know Orange Man bad. That's their argument. President Trump's bill rewards the people who make America work. That's good. The 17 tax cuts fueled growth. Remember that? Raised wages. I do. Crushed unemployment before COVID. Extending them was common sense. Good job, Congress. Good job, Mr. President. Very good job. And yes, the wealthy benefit more in dollar terms because they pay most of the taxes. That's okay. That's not unfair. It's proportional. All the things. And look, I've been straight with you on B cubed. I've been straight with you on the big beautiful bill. I don't like the deficit spending in the bill. That's the thing I don't like. Most of us would agree. We can grow the economy and cut waste at the same time. The big wins on border security, though, energy independence, military strength, those are worth celebrating. And we should. And we do. But I'm always going to push for paying for all that responsibly. That's why many of us conservatives were very excited about Doge. And you mentioned we were dozing before Dozing was a thing, but people doge at their house all the time. Businesses, they look for efficiency all the time. We know all about that.
I got to doge a little bit when I see too many Shein orders on the, hitting the bank account.
You taught me something today.
You could about to order a bunch of random crap on Shein, I bet.
And Jamie's going to return every single one of them.
It's not returnable, my friend.
Oh, really?
That's shipped from way far away, from a land down yonder.
You said the S word?
Shipped.
Oh, okay.
On a,
'Cause I was gonna say I was gonna take up from Mr. Bobby because that's when you pressed the button on Mr. Bobby one time.
I said
He
that
said
stuff is shipped from a land far away.
You know my hearing.
Barack Obama.
Guys, thank you so much.